Have you ever felt a mysterious pull toward someone, almost like they cast a spell on you? It might start with a glance or a few charming words, but suddenly you're entranced. You find yourself saying yes when you meant to say no, or thinking about them when you know you shouldn't. We all like to think we're in control of our own minds, yet seduction has a way of quietly hijacking our decisions. It's not just about romance, it's about influence, persuasion, power. Picture this. You're a puppet and someone else is tugging at the strings. They smile, you smile, they beckon, you follow. It's subtle, almost poetic how they lead you exactly where they want. If you've ever sensed that someone's charm was too compelling, or felt powerless under another's influence, you're not alone. The truth is, master seducers know how to make you feel like it's your idea, when really you're dancing to their tune. This video is for you if you've ever felt like a puppet on someone else's stage. If you've ever sensed that your choices weren't completely your own, that someone was quietly pulling the strings in your life. Meet Robert Greene, a modern philosopher of power and human nature. He's the author behind bestsellers like The 48 Laws of Power and The Art of Seduction, books so incisive they're reportedly banned in many prisons. Greene didn't just study manipulation from afar, he lived it. In his early career he worked almost 50 odd jobs, including as a Hollywood writer, where he saw the cutthroat reality of power plays up close. Hollywood, as he describes, was full of dirty little secrets, people using psychological games to get ahead. He realized the same tactics used by emperors and conquerors in history were being used in office politics and even in everyday relationships. This book, The Art of Seduction, was his way of exposing those secrets and empowering the rest of us. Now, why is the art of seduction uniquely relevant today? Because we live in the age of influence. From flashy social media ads to persuasive public figures, seduction is everywhere. And it's not just about dating or sex. It's about anyone who charms, manipulates, or inspires you to do something. We're seduced by politicians rallying our emotions, by advertisers whispering to our desires, even by that coworker who knows exactly how to get us to help on their project. In a world this connected, knowing how seduction works is like having X-ray vision for the mind. It lets you see why you're drawn to certain people and how they might be swaying you. By watching this till the end, you're going to gain something priceless: awareness and agency. Greene's book isn't a pickup guide, it's a psychological roadmap to human influence. Stay with me, and by the final minute you won't just understand dark persuasion. You'll know how to protect your decisions and lead with clarity and confidence. You'll recognize when someone is trying to charm you into a corner, and you'll learn how to apply these insights in your own life, strengthening your relationships, your resolve, and your sense of self. This isn't just theory, it's personal transformation through story and insight. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. Seduction as Power, the Secret Role of Seductive Archetypes. Seduction might sound like a frivolous topic, but Greene shows it's a serious form of power. In fact, he profiles 9 types of seducers the way one might categorize generals or strategists. Each archetype, from the siren and the rake to the charmer and the dandy, wields a unique kind of allure. For example, think of Cleopatra sailing to Julius Caesar wrapped in a carpet. She wasn't just making a love appeal, she was making a power play. As a classic siren, Cleopatra created a theatrical aura of glamour and mystery, embodying the promise of adventure and pleasure. Men like Caesar and Mark Antony found themselves mesmerized by her presence before they even knew what was happening. The siren's secret is to dazzle with an image of the ultimate fantasy. Greene writes that the siren is like water, fluid, ungraspable, luring you with the promise of infinite adventure and pleasure, until men follow her so far out to sea where they drown. In other words, seduction can be as dangerous as it is exciting. On the flip side, there's the charismatic, the ideal lover, the coquette. Different masks, same intent. Take Casanova, often hailed as history's greatest lover. He didn't seduce by looks or money, he seduced by listening and adapting. According to Greene, Casanova made himself the epitome of what his target desired, fulfilling what was missing in their lives. One woman craved adventure, another security, another artistic inspiration. He became whatever each one longed for. It wasn't magic, it was psychology. He observed needs and crafted himself into the fantasy. Think about that for a moment. The truly skilled seducer studies you like a book, then appears to be the hero from your own story. It feels like fate or luck, finally someone who gets me, but often it's by design. So, what's the takeaway from these seductive archetypes? It's this: seduction works because it fulfills deep desires, the need for adventure, validation, mystery, feeling special. Anyone can use this knowledge. Maybe you naturally have a siren's flair for drama or a charmer's ease, or maybe you've fallen for an ideal lover who seemed too perfect. By recognizing these archetypes, you start seeing the strings behind the show. So the next time someone sweeps you off your feet with grand gestures or uncanny understanding, you won't be so quick to declare it fate. Instead, you'll recognize seduction in action, and remember that allure is a tool, not a trance. You can enjoy the dance but keep your feet on the ground. Chapter 2. The emotional connection, hooking into your heart and mind. Seduction isn't really about sex appeal or beauty, it's about emotional gravity. Have you noticed how some people make you feel incredibly seen and heard? They peer into your soul with interest, they laugh at your jokes, they share personal stories that mirror your own feelings. Suddenly you've got a bond. Feels deep, fated even. This is the seducer's art, creating an emotional connection so magnetic that logic goes quiet. Greene emphasizes the power of emotional rapport over any superficial charm. A skilled seducer figures out what you crave emotionally: attention, admiration, a shoulder to cry on, an escape from boredom, and then they become that remedy. Imagine you've been feeling unappreciated and along comes someone who constantly compliments your work and says, "Wow, no one understands you like I do." Feels amazing, right? Or you're insecure and they suddenly act protective and reassuring, making you feel safe. It's not accidental, it's targeted precision. In the book, Greene describes seduction as therapy in the wrong hands. A seducer can play the role of the perfect friend or lover, giving you exactly the emotional medicine you need, but there's a catch. Once you're hooked on that feeling, they can start guiding your choices. You want to please them because they've become important to you. It's a potent form of influence. Why would you say no to someone who makes you feel so good? Let's be honest, we're human, we all have emotional weak spots. Seducers know how to find them. They might use flattery, "I've never met someone as talented as you," or play vulnerability, "I feel like I can really open up to you, no one else understands." These moves forge a sense of intimacy and trust. It can be genuine at times, but often it's a strategy. And here's where it gets interesting. This doesn't just happen in romance. Think about a charismatic leader or mentor who made you believe in yourself more than ever. You'd probably go the extra mile for them. That can be positive. But a manipulative boss who showers you with praise just to exploit your overtime? That's seduction's dark side. Ask yourself, how many times have you been swayed by the person who listened to you when others wouldn't? Or by the one who made you feel uniquely valued? Those moments can cloud judgment. So what's the one-liner lesson here? It's this: cherish real emotional bonds but keep your eyes open. The next time someone new makes you feel an instant, profound connection, enjoy it, but also quietly ask yourself if it's real or if they're playing to your emotional needs. A genuine connection grows mutually, while a seducer's connection often comes calculatedly fast and almost too perfect. By being aware of that difference, you protect your heart without closing it off. Chapter 3. The Power of Mystery, How Seducers Create Obsession. Let's switch gears to one of the juiciest tactics in seduction: mystery and unpredictability. Have you ever been drawn to someone who was a bit of an enigma? The less they revealed, the more you wanted to know. Maybe they gave you intense attention one day and then were oddly distant the next. You find yourself replaying every conversation, wondering, do they care or not? What are they thinking? That uncertainty is not a bug, it's a feature. As Greene puts it, there is too little mystery in the world. Too many people say exactly what they feel or want. When someone doesn't do that, when they keep you guessing, it's incredibly seductive. Your mind fills in the blanks, often painting them as more fascinating than they really are. Seductive individuals understand the psychology of the chase. This is the realm of the coquette, as Greene describes, the one who alternates between warmth and coldness. One moment they flatter you, flirt with you, the next moment they pull back and you feel them slipping away. It's a push-pull dynamic that makes you pursue them. Why? Because as humans we tend to value what's just beyond our reach. If something or someone is readily available, our brain says, probably not that special. But if it's scarce or uncertain, we instinctively put a higher price on it. Seducers hack this bias by giving you little doses of hope and affection, then spacing them out. It's like giving a kid candy and then hiding the jar. The kid will go on a treasure hunt to get more. Consider this scenario. You send a text and get a quick, witty reply that makes your day. Next time you text and nothing for hours, maybe days. Your mind races. Did I say something wrong? Are they busy? Should I send another? When they finally respond with a casual, "Hey, been swamped, how are you?" You're relieved and oddly even more attracted because you earned that reply. Sounds a bit insane, right? But we've all been there in some form. It's emotional intermittent reinforcement, the same psychological trick that slot machines use. Unpredictable rewards create obsession. A savvy seducer is essentially a human slot machine. You never know when the next payoff of attention or affection will come, which makes you invest more and more of your energy. Now, how do we turn this knowledge into strength for you? Start by noticing this pattern in your life. Are you in a roller coaster dynamic with someone? Do you feel high highs and low lows coming from how another person treats you? That might not be an accident. And if you ever find yourself thinking, "This uncertainty makes me want them more," definitely take a step back. That's the seduction working on you. The one-line takeaway: the next time you're left anxiously waiting or second-guessing someone's feelings, recognize that manufactured mystery for what it is, a tactic. You don't have to play along. Enjoy the intrigue if it's fun, sure, but keep your wits about you. A healthy relationship, professional or personal, won't feel like constant suspense. When you spot the deliberate hot and cold, you've essentially found the off switch to another's control. Remember, being a little mysterious yourself is fine, but being manipulated by mystery is not. Your peace of mind is worth more than someone's breadcrumb attention. Chapter 4. The Seductive Dance, Step by Step into the Web. Here we get to the strategy part of seduction. Almost like a con artist's playbook, except the currency is emotions and willpower. Greene outlines the stages of seduction as a kind of journey. Picture a spider weaving a web. First, a few silk threads of attraction are laid out. Then, loop by loop, the web envelopes the target until escape is nearly impossible. It sounds dramatic, but when we break it down, you'll recognize these steps in real-life situations. Step 1. Choosing the victim. A seducer doesn't start with just anyone. They often choose their target carefully. They look for someone vulnerable in some way, lonely, insecure, unhappy in love or work, someone with an emotional void. Why? Because a person who needs something is easier to seduce. If you're perfectly content and confident, you're a tougher sell. But if you feel something's missing, you're primed to be enchanted by whoever, or whatever, promises to fill that gap. This is why Greene also profiles 18 types of victims in his book. Different personalities have different gaps. For example, someone who longs for adventure can be seduced by excitement. Someone who feels unloved can be seduced by warmth and attention. The seducer effectively says, "I have exactly what you're missing." Step 2. The first contact, creating a false sense of security. In the early phase, seducers often mirror you and make you comfortable. They might start as a friend or a sympathetic ear. You'll hear things like, "Oh, you love that band? Me too." Or, "You went through that hardship. I can't believe it, I have a similar story." You start to think this person is just like me, or at least truly understands me. This lowers your guard. In psychology, we tend to trust people who we think share our values or experiences. A clever seducer might genuinely share those things or simply pretend to. Either way, you feel safe. That's the setup. Step 3. The weaving of fantasy. As things progress, the seducer introduces elements of fantasy, pleasure, even chaos. They take you on an emotional ride. Remember that roller coaster? Maybe passionate nights out, deep conversations under the stars, grand romantic or bro-like gestures that feel straight out of a movie. They mix pleasure with a bit of pain or uncertainty. Perhaps a hint of jealousy to see if you'll fight for them, or a dramatic confession that makes you want to comfort them. Every twist pulls you in deeper. By now, the web is tightening, you're emotionally invested. Friends might say, "You're spending all your time with them," or, "You seem different, is everything okay?" But you justify it, "They just understand me, this is special." In truth, the seducer is systematically breaking down your resistance, bit by bit, by overwhelming you with emotion and disorienting your sense of reality. It's hard to see red flags when you're in a fog of feelings. Step 4, the precipice, pushing boundaries. At a certain point, a seducer might test how far under the spell you are. They might ask for a favor that compromises you, or push you into something you'd normally hesitate to do, ethically, financially, sexually, depends on context. This is the point of no return. If you comply or go along, you've proven your devotion. They now effectively hold the reins. If you balk, a skilled seducer might feign hurt or disappointment, making you feel guilty for breaking the magic of what you two have. It's a critical juncture. They either secure total influence or you snap out of it and step back. Step 5, the kill, sealing the deal. If all goes to the seducer's plan, this is where they capitalize on their influence. In a love scam, this might be when they ask for money or commitment once you're deeply in love. In a power dynamic, maybe the manipulative boss finally gets you to take on that impossible task, because I trust only you. The seducer finalizes the conquest. You're under their spell and giving them what they wanted, whether that's love, admiration, sex, money, loyalty, or something else. And here's the eerie part. You think it was your choice because every step of the way they let you come to them, you volunteer, you chase. That's the art. They made it irresistible for you to surrender. Take a deep breath. This sounds intense, I know. But I bet as we walked through those steps, faces and names from your life popped up. Maybe an ex who isolated you from friends so only they filled your world, or a colleague who buddied up to you then shamelessly took credit for your work, or even a family member who guilt trips you into things by first doling out affection. Seduction in stages is common because it works. But now you have the map. And when you have a map, you can see the traps before you step in. So, here's what to remember. When you notice a pattern, the too perfect bonding, the hot-cold emotional seesaw, the push on your boundaries, you're probably in the web of seduction. That is your moment of power. You can politely step back, reevaluate, and choose not to dance the dance. The takeaway: next time you sense someone methodically pulling you in, call out the game, at least to yourself. You can even slow the rhythm. Don't respond immediately, keep your other relationship strong, assert a boundary and see how they react. A true friend or lover will respect it. A manipulator will panic or push harder. Either way, you win clarity. You get to decide if the relationship continues on your terms. Knowledge is freedom here. The spider's web only works if the fly doesn't see it. Well, now you see it. Chapter 5. The Dark Side and Self-Defense. Ethics of Seduction and Owning Your Will. Before we conclude, we need to address the elephant in the room. Seduction can be a dark, dangerous art. Robert Greene doesn't shy away from that. In fact, he warns readers about the unethical edges of these tactics. This book might teach you how to seduce, but it also shines a light on how you might be seduced and what it means morally. Let's get one thing clear. Using these strategies to manipulate or exploit people is a line one shouldn't cross lightly. There are real consequences. Broken hearts, lost trust, damaged lives. Greene gives historical examples of seductions that led to downfall, both for the seduced and the seducer. It's a bit like playing with fire. If you're not careful, everyone burns. So, how do we use this knowledge the right way? First, use it to protect yourself. Think of these insights as a psychological armor. When you can identify a guilt trip as a tactic, it loses much of its power over you. When you recognize flattery laced with an agenda, it doesn't swell your head. Instead, it rings an alarm bell. You start seeing that the strings attached to an offer are actual strings. Awareness is the antidote to manipulation. It doesn't mean you become cynical or paranoid. It means you are conscious. You can still enjoy charm and romance and persuasion, but you won't be blind to what's going on. As Greene would say, you stop being an easy prey. You can say no without feeling guilty when you sense someone is just trying to corner you. You can step back from a relationship that's moving too fast and ask, is this real or orchestrated? In short, you reclaim your free will. Second, if you choose to apply seduction strategies, do it with ethics and empathy. There's a positive side to some of this. Being a bit mysterious can spark interest without hurting anyone. Truly listening to someone's needs can build a beautiful connection as long as you're sincere. Showing confidence and offering excitement can uplift others' experiences. You can be inspiring, compelling, magnetic without being manipulative. The difference lies in intent. If you genuinely care and it's mutual, using your charismatic skills is a win-win. But if you're only out for selfish gain, remember that any short-term victory comes at the cost of trust and integrity long-term. Even Greene notes the consequences of manipulative tactics. Often, seducers who push too far create enemies or become trapped in their own lies. Ask yourself, what kind of influence do I want to have on people? Do you want it to be said that you bring out the best in others, or that you always get your way at others' expense? True power doesn't require puppeteering others. True power can be simply mastering yourself. In the end, the art of seduction arms you with understanding. It shows how easily our feelings can be swayed, which is a humbling reminder that we're all human. But it also shows how someone with bad intentions might exploit those feelings. For you, the viewer, the ultimate lesson is empowerment. You don't have to be a victim of games, and you don't have to use dirty games to get what you want. There is always a choice. So, when the pressure is on, when someone is turning up the charm, or when life corners you with a silver-tongued deal, remember these lessons. Seduction is about them, not you. It plays on your hopes and fears. Pause and ask, whose interest is being served here? That question alone can break a spell. Let's recap the journey we've been on and, more importantly, what it means for your life. We uncovered 5 key insights from the art of seduction. Seduction equals power in disguise. It isn't merely about attraction, it's a form of power and influence. Seducers come in many forms: the adventurous siren, the devoted ideal lover, the elusive coquette. But they all pull levers in the human psyche to cast a spell. For you, this means be alert when someone seems larger than life or tailor-made for your desires. If it feels too perfect, it just might be orchestrated. Emotional connection is the battleground. We learned that seducers hook into your heart, fulfilling emotional needs so you willingly give them what they want. It's that friend who makes you feel seen, the lover who completes you, sometimes genuine, sometimes calculated. Your defense? Don't abandon reason just because it feels right. Trust your feelings but also test them over time. Real connections withstand a little scrutiny, fake ones crumble when you step back. Mystery and intrigue amplify desire. From playing hard to get to sending mixed signals, keeping someone in suspense is an age-old trick to heighten their obsession. In an age where oversharing is common, the person who holds a little back automatically stands out. Take it as a lesson. A bit of mystery can be fun, but if you're constantly anxious about someone's unpredictability, that's not romance, that's a red flag. You deserve clarity and respect, not mind games. The seductive process is predictable. Ironically, there's a formula to the magic. We saw how seducers choose their target, gain trust, create excitement and confusion, push boundaries and close the deal. It's like a dance with distinct moves, and now you know the choreography. This means you can spot when you're being led step by step into a corner. Knowledge truly is power. When you sense the pattern, you can refuse to take the next step. Ethics and empowerment. Finally, seduction carries moral weight. Used selfishly, it destroys trust and lives. But understanding it gives you the choice. You can protect yourself from predators of the heart and mind. And you can decide what kind of influencer you want to be, one who uplifts or one who deceives. Greene's work underscores that with great power of seduction comes great responsibility. The real art is using these insights to build authentic confidence and empathy, not just to get your way. So, what does all this mean for you right now? It means you no longer have to be an unwitting character in someone else's plot. You've got the spotlight on the hidden dynamics that have been swirling around you your whole life. Next time you feel that gut sense that something is off, that maybe you're being played, trust yourself and refer back to what you learned here. You have the tools to pause and say, hold on, I recognize this game and I don't have to play. And on the flip side, when you meet someone truly special, these insights can help you proceed with eyes open, building a relationship on truth rather than illusion. Here's what to remember when the pressure hits. You are the author of your own story. Seducers want to edit your pages, but you hold the pen. A compliment, a flirtation, a persuasive pitch. None of it can control you unless you hand over the pen. And if you ever feel yourself doubting your worth because someone withdraws their affection or approval, take a deep breath. That's just chapter 3, the coquette's ploy, and you already know how that chapter ends. It ends with you reclaiming your power. Now I want to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from this deep dive into the art of seduction? Did a particular story or idea hit home? maybe made you realize something about your past or a current situation. Share it in the comments. Your story might light the way for someone else here in our community who's been through something similar. Let's support each other in growing wiser and stronger. If this video sparked something inside you, a new understanding, a sense of empowerment, then join our journey. Hit that subscribe button. Welcome to A Thought Library, where we decode the most powerful ideas to level up your mind, power, and life. This is just the beginning. We've got so many more insightful books and deep psychological strategies to explore together. Next up, we're diving into another game changer, a topic that will transform how you see the world and protect your mind. I won't spoil it completely, but here's a hint. It's also about power, and it might just revolutionize your approach to leadership and influence. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, remember, knowledge is your greatest armor and empathy your greatest strength. Stay curious, stay empowered, and as always, keep growing. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.